for the serious gamer.
Yo, what is up, Next Gen Tactics? My name's the MercilessWalrus, and I'm bringing you some more gameplay, but this time it is not Modern Warfare 2 or any other Call of Duty game. While this game may look a little like Call of Duty 4 and feel like it, that's because I believe it runs on a very similar engine, or the exact same engine. But the gameplay isn't all too similar, though it does look very similar. This is Quantum of Solace, and it's one of my favorite games of all time, believe it or not. I know that might seem very difficult to believe, and let me just say one thing. I do speed up a lot of parts in this gameplay because for a lot of it, there are only 2 players on the other team. I mean, we absolutely shit on them, and with no remorse, but it does lead to slightly boring gameplay, but you'll see. I think it ends up being like a 4 vs 3 for like the whole second half of the match, but that's just because so few people are on this game anymore. I mean, a game like this, where it didn't sell a ton of copies, and it's old, it's like a fucking ghost town. I'm lucky to think that I was able to find a match within like 30 seconds of searching for one, so that's pretty good. Right now, and I'm just gonna explain how this game kind of works, and by that I mean like what made this game relatively memorable for me, and some of the things which are why I didn't play it for a very long period of time. Basically, the bullshit factors that every customizable first-person shooter has, kinda like Call of Duty. Now, one thing this game doesn't have that you guys would be very excited to hear, no noob tubes. So while you can have as many attachments as you want, which really is only 2, you can have a sight and a silencer if you want, there is no noob tube, so really, it's not that imbalanced. But, as I said, there will always be a bullshit factor. So while the weapon attachments are not imbalanced, the weapons themselves, in a sense, are. None of the assault rifles are that imbalanced. The submachine gun I'm using right now is slightly imbalanced, but what you're gonna see me pick up in about a minute or so, within the next 2 minutes, is the semi-automatic shotgun in this game. Now, again, I don't remember exactly what it's called because it has a weird name. It isn't named after a gun in real life, so I have no idea, but the thing has the range of a SPAS 12 from Modern Warfare 2. Slightly less range, but it is semi-automatic, and you can have a silencer on it, and the silencer does not decrease the range that much, nor does it really decrease the damage. What the hell? Oh, and there is another submachine gun I'm forgetting, but it's the hardest one to unlock, and I'll get into that in a sec. The thing has, like, an insane rate of fire, not much kick. That thing's a fucking beast. Now, one thing I should probably say at this point is that all weapons and all perks, and I'll get to perks later, and all attachments are bought with currency, kinda like how Black Ops is gonna be. But there's no leveling system, so you can buy anything you want whenever you want. For example, that awesome semi-automatic shotgun, about $4,000. That second gun I named, that submachine gun, that literally is God, or not even God, it's literally Chuck Norris in the form of a submachine gun, that thing's $8,000. And all attachments that you get are then universally used, so like if you want a red dot, that was like $2,000, a silencer is like $4,000, a scope is like $8,000. So just stuff like that. That's how the currency system works, and then all perks are somewhere between $500 and $2,000. Your grenades are special grenades, $500 to $2,000. Secondary weapons, as far as those go, they're only pistols and a couple machine pistols. I use the G18 usually. Well, of course it's not called the G18 because this game decided to be annoying and have weird names, but it's literally the exact same thing as a G18. And then there's also like an Uzi secondary, which actually isn't as good as the G18, believe it or not, but whatever. Now, as I said, I would get back to another thing that I think is kind of worth noting, is the perks system, or however that works. I mainly use the equivalent of Stopping Power and Ninja Pro, so extra damage and silent footsteps, and they have all the same perks from a Call of Duty game. Like, literally, the perks are the things that remind me of a Call of Duty game the most, except the way it's laid out. So as I said, you can buy whatever ones you want. You only get 2 perks, but you can have any 2. So you can have the equivalent of Stopping Power and Juggernaut, extra damage and extra health. But since I have a headset, I much prefer using the Silent Footsteps one as my other one. But they have like a perk that allows you to reload faster, one that allows you to aim down sights faster, one that allows you to have bullet penetration, because without that perk, bullet penetration in this game is complete bullshit. And another thing, one thing I want to say, hit detection in this game. Terrible. Absolutely horrible. It's actually one of the worst parts. It's one of the reasons I don't play this game that much either. Not only the overpowered shotguns, but hit detection. Like, you can be aiming at someone dead on. It's not that it's dead on, but like if you're a millimeter off to the side, a game like Call of Duty is a little forgiving. This game, nah, you're a millimeter off, you're not hitting him. Oh, and by the way, since I was on perks and then I went off, perks in this game are called, what are they called? Jesus Christ. Oh, they're called gadgets, that's right. Rather than perk, they decided to be all James Bondish and call them gadgets, even though they are perks. And now, since I'm finally done kind of giving you a brief overview of what this game is all about, I think I'm just going to talk about strategies. So, first of all, silencers in this game are hugely important, since you can have a silencer and a sight attachment such as holographic or red dot. Almost always use it. And you can switch weapons between fully automatic and semi-automatic, but really that doesn't matter. So, on this particular map, you don't want to be going down the main hallway. Basically, it's one big hallway that bends, kind of like a U-shaped hallway, but you can go on the second floor like I'm doing right now, and look through the glass. You can't shoot through the glass unless you have that bullet penetration. That was a great way to pronounce it. Bullet penetration perk. If you don't have that, you can't shoot through glass, which is just retarded, but whatever. But you can still look through, and there are multiple places where you can just, where there's no glass, so you have a great vantage point over the rest of the map, and you're going to get a lot of guys off guard if you're coming from the side. And right here is just one of the most upsetting things that's ever happened to me in a game like this. So I am like 18-0 right now. There's about a minute left in the game or so, and I'm like, alright, I'm going to pull the flawless. I am going to go flawless, and everything's going to be awesome. It's kind of like the first video I posted here on Next Gen Tactics, where I started off 6-0 in a search and destroy after one round. This was kind of like it. Now, granted, there were only 2 players on the other team, so I'm almost confident if there were more players, I would have done even better. All the guys who play on this game are complete garbage. Another thing you gotta do when you play this game, utilize the fact that you can take cover. It's one thing that this game has that Call of Duty doesn't, and most people don't take advantage of it, and there's my only death. Right when the guy says 30 seconds left, I die. That's so depressing, because literally I'm like, oh, I'm so close. If I were to kill that guy, I would have gone 20-0. But whatever, no sense complaining about it now. This gameplay is basically over, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, thought it'd be something different than just your typical Call of Duty or Halo. And I'm gonna be going now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumb up or like it or whatever the hell you want to call it. And yeah, bye.